What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to our coverage of the light novel Twilight Axis. Last time, Mehmet came to Arlette and Danton regarding a mission to Axis. On the asteroid, Danton ran into his old mobile suit, the R-Jarja. In the past, Danton nearly sacrificed his life for the R-Jarja test data, and on Earth, Rona is making moves. This time, Arlette will find Sazabi. Danton uses the R-Jarja to fight against Isolde, and Quentin unleashes his mobile armor. So let's get into this. Arlette finishes the activation sequence. She switches places with Danton and tells her dad to return safely. He takes off and destroys the gate. Walter Firmo is the Byarlant Isolde pilot. He is on the outer wall of Axis. He talks to his bro on the comms. The pilot picks up something on his sensors coming out of the hangar. The sensor trail splits into two paths, so he picks one and follows it. Suddenly, a bright light engulfs his field of view. It is a ship. He catches up with it and fires his beam rifle, taking it down. One down, says Walter. A beam blast almost hits him. A mobile suit approaches him. He thinks it is the Zaku that his brother talked about, but it is the R-Jarja. Danton closes the gap faster than Walter expected. Walter says that is no Zaku. No, you messed up the line. It's no Zaku boy. The two engage in close-range combat. While Danton is fighting, Mehmet and Arlette make their way to the research facility. Arlette almost slips and falls. Mehmet knows Danton is a test pilot, but he wonders if he ever experienced real combat. She tells him no, not really. He is amazed by his skill. Arlette bites her tongue and tells him to ask Danton himself, as she doesn't feel she should tell his story. She tells him that the two known each other since the 1-year war, but she hints at the fact that as she ages but her body stays the same, things are starting to get to her. Poor girl probably just wants to have sex. Looks like jailbait, but she's closer to Danton and Char's age. That sucks. They still don't specify exactly how old she is, though. Arlette is certain they will find a psychoframe. She is grateful Mehmet brought her here. She says that he has given her a chance to learn what Char Aznable's final thoughts were. You mean the whole Lala soon could have been a mother to me? Oh no, Arlette, I don't think you want to go there. It gets real Oedipal real fast. They make it to the research lab. As they enter, they are met with gunshots. They duck down and enter into a server room. They need to extract data on the psychoframe from these servers. We then learn about Birnam. They are a private military group that does the bidding of Butte Concern and the Rona family. Knights of Rona use this team for a series of illegal activities. This is funded by the rise in Butte Concern's superior mobile suits. They are taken out by Mehmet and the Mestima team. As she enters into the facility, she is overwhelmed with many feelings regarding the past. She then reflects on the 1-year war. Arlette can't remember anything before moving to the Flanagan Institute at Site 6. Even the colony drop is a blur to her. Arlette doesn't seem to be her real name. Compared to the other children who had entered the facility at the same time, her stats were exceedingly mediocre, and she struggled to meet the minimum standard. Then one day, Char Aznable visited the Institute. He says she clearly is an engineer. Although her piloting skills aren't the best, she exceeds in mobile suit engineering. Arlette went with Char, changing her life forever. Char says that being a new type doesn't mean being a pilot. Those words resonated with her. For the first time, she felt like a human being instead of a test subject. She could tell that Char is someone that doesn't let anyone get close to him, and it is not just because of the mask. However, one person was able to get behind the mask, so to speak. This was Lala Soon. Lala kept to herself, but once in a while found herself talking to Arlette as they share a new type connection of the sorts. After Lala's death, that wall that Char once had came up again. He soon disappeared from the public, and Arlette chose to follow. She then mentions that she will never be able to climb that wall in regards to her inability to grow. I think it hints at the fact that she wants more than just a senpai. Mehmet snapped Arlette back to the present. He tells her to get down and the room is engulfed in bright light. Part of the lab blew up by someone who kamikazed himself. The mercs that they captured earlier got away. Mehmet's handsome face contorted with disgust. Handsome face? What a weird time to comment on a character's looks. Who wrote this? It's our performance, isn't it? But he realizes these people really would rather die than have the Mestima team get the psychoframe. Mehmet looks up to realize the servers were hit and no longer useful to them. Arlette finds a terminal still functioning. Part of the data is salvageable, and she gets to work. She reflects back to the last thing she said to Char. All she said as her final words were a simple good luck. She is able to find the location of the Sazabi, and it isn't too far from her location. She leaves the terminal she used to hack for the Mestima team and sneaks away. She heads to the outer wall where she finds a petite mobile she could use. Meanwhile, Danton continues the fight with the Byarlant Isolde. He unleashes missiles from his missile pod. Walter takes out 2 beam sabers and slices the missiles. The Byarlant's speed is making it hard for Danton to keep up. This triggers a memory from Danton's past. Is now the time to be flashbacking? Wait, focus! During the 1 Year War, we see a bright-eyed young Danton. He showed potential as a mobile suit pilot when he was a cadet. However, he would never succeed for one reason. He did not like war. Danton was a part of a giant battle with losses on both sides. He came out of it alive and instantly resigned from the military. As he was going to discharge, he happened to meet Char. He tells Danton not to quit and to join his team. He knows he doesn't enjoy killing. Char simply wants his operational skills. He wants to make him his personal test pilot. Char says that it has to be him because his pilot style is very similar to the Red Comet. He needs someone like him to test his units before they become battle ready. Danton can't deny that this is a great opportunity, but it wouldn't change the fact that his work would still be contributing to war, even if he isn't pulling the trigger. He has to think it over. He leaves the room, but Danton already has his answer. He will become Char's test pilot. Danton visits the research and development facility on Side 6. This is where he would meet his future partner in crime, Arlette. He finds her annoying at first. Danton was also quiet and off-putting, so their interactions were awkward. They eventually loosened up, especially around Char. The two of them, over time, would become like brother and sister, and Danton finally found a place to be himself. Even when Char changed his name to Quattro, Arlette chose to follow him. As Arlette and Danton became close, he wanted to be by her side. Arlette and Danton are relatively new characters, so they were never retconned into Char's deleted affair or Zeta Define, but supposedly they have been there the whole time. Danton comes back to reality. He splits the barrel of the Isolde's beam rifle. They grapple, but Danton is able to get his hands free. He whips out his beam saber and slashes off Isolde's arm. They get distance from one another. Danton also lost one of his arms. Walter understands why his brother was struggling against this pilot. Danton hates that he is engaging in battle, but he is also getting off on being able to push the R-Jarja to the limits. He wonders why Char, in his final words to Danton, said to protect Arlette. Arlette spots something red in the distance. It is Sazabi. He tells the captain that she is back, knowing that there is no one there. The cockpit has been removed during Char and Amado's battle. She enters into the empty cockpit to find a piece of the psycho frame. This is everything that Mehmet and the Mistema team were looking for, but that is not what she is here for. She moves to the head where the subcomputer is located. She whips out another terminal to try to access data. She's looking for anything: logs, audio files, visuals, anything that would give her a glimpse into Char's final moments. La mommy. This is why she came on this mission. Isolde pushes the R-Jarja onto the surface of Axis. Danton swings his variable shield into Isolde's torso. The two grapple. Walter is barely dodging Danton's beam saber as he starts to get the upper hand. He thought that this would be a boring mission, but it is starting to get interesting. In most cases, the cockpit is where the main computer is stored. But Sazabi is different. It has psycho frames built into the molecular level of the unit. It also has all battle data since the 1 Year War fed into it. The psycho frame has the ability to retain memories, so there might be something there. She finds some data and begins copying it as fast as she can. Overhead, she spots something huge. At first, she thinks that it is a ship, but it is a mobile armor. She assumes that the Gundam they spotted earlier is at the core of this unit. This is the Colonel. She turns her comms back on. Inside the cockpit is Quentin Firmo. This mission also gives them the opportunity to test the new mobile armor along with the Isolde. Their mission is to destroy anything left in the research facilities. He decides to ignore his mission and find his brother and Danton. He flies away. Mehmet finally realizes that Arlette has disappeared. He tries to call out to her on the comms. He gets nothing back. They will wait till she returns, but he hopes that she returns soon, as this place might become a target again. That is when a voice comes on the comms. Minovsky particle density is high and it is hard to hear, but it is Arlette. She lets him know that the mobile armor is heading to the spaceport. Danton and their shuttle are in danger. He tells them to head back to the port while she handles the mobile armor. Mehmet has so many questions, but Arlette cuts off the comms. He says, oh well, I guess I have to trust that she has something up her sleeve. That's kind of lazy writing. They pack up the operation and head back to the ship. Mehmet salutes Arlette wherever she is. And that will do it for this episode. We get to see both Arlette and Danton's first encounters with Char. The Red Comet is able to see the best of new types around him, and he uses them to their best potential. Arlette isn't a great pilot, but a genius engineer. Danton struggles to engage in conflict, but he makes a great test pilot. We are also starting to see that Danton's desires to protect Arlette now outweigh his desire for pacifism. Next time we will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam Twilight Axis. The battle between the R-Jarja and Isolde continues. Arlette boots up a mobile armor of her own, and we will learn more about the Fermo brothers. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, everyone is a new type at something. Peace.